welcome to this special presentation of Impossible to Forget. I'm your host, Don Orsillo. One of the most memorable pennant races ever, 1967. The Red Sox headed into the final two games of the regular season, trailing the Tigers and Twins each by a game. They'd play the Twins, and they'd need both of those games. The second to last game of the year for the Red Sox, in its entirety, as it appeared, September 30th, 1967.
Zoilo Versailles will lead off playing short. For the Twins, Cesar Tovar will be at third base, batting second. Harmon Killebrew will be at first. Tony Oliva in right. Bob Allison in left field. And the Red Sox take the field to the roar of this great crowd. Rod Carew will be at second base for Minnesota. Eulander will be in center. Zimmerman the catcher. And caught on the mound as Jose Santiago goes out to the mound to get ready to go to work. I talked with Jose before the ball game today. He said that he slept well last night. He feels good. He's rested. He pitched a pressure ball game against Baltimore last week to keep the Red Sox chances alive. And he's ready to pitch in this big game today. The Red Sox batting order will be Andrews, Adair, Yastrzemski, Harrelson, Scott, Petrocelli, Smith, Gibson, Santiago. Zoilo Versailles is batting .201, 6 homers, 50 runs batted in. Versailles, 26 years old. And here's the first pitch. Strike one. One ball, one strike. On deck, Cesar Tovar. Base hit to left. Yastrzemski juggles the ball. Versailles holds at first after taking a wide turn. Zoilo Versailles gets a leadoff single for Minnesota and brings to the plate Cesar Tovar, who has had quite a year with the ball club, batting .268. 6 homers, 47 runs batted in. He is playing in his 163rd game of the year today, tying the American League record for most games played in a season. Strike one. Tovar has been one of the top hitters for the Twins against Boston pitching this year. He's 17 for 51 at .333 with a double, triple, and 6 RBIs. Fouls it back out of play. Strike two. We have here today some 125 newspaper men from all over the country. In addition to the regular facilities, as you see Killebrew on deck, they are using the auxiliary football press box out in right field. All kinds of Western Union machines and telephones have been set up in the press room up and back on the roof. 1-2 to Tovar. Russ Gibson apparently did not spot that ball immediately, or if he did, he thought it was out of play. Scott made a long run down for it, but Gibson, who is excellent on catching foul pops, must have somehow lost it.
Well, Ken, at one time the ball was out of play, but the wind's blowing straight out to center field, and the wind pushed that ball back into playable territory. Russ Gibson was completely fooled by it, and I think that after first looking up at the ball, he took his eye off it and then completely lost it.
The count is 1-2. Two and 2 on Tovar. Coaching at third base, fiery Billy Martin of the Twins. And at first is Big Jim Lemon. Versailles can run. Reggie Smith is there. 1 out. Tovar flies to Smith. 1 out and 1 aboard. And now we begin to watch part of what will be a great personal duel this weekend, although knowing both men, it will not matter a great deal to either one. Harmon Killebrew of the Twins and Carl Yastrzemski of the Red Sox each have 43 home runs. Yastrzemski has 115 runs batted in. Killebrew has 111. 4 back of him. Over the last 8 years, this fellow has averaged just over 40 home runs a season.
You can see Jose Santiago motioning to his outfield. He's trying to get him to play straight away for Harmon Killebrew.
Ball 1. On deck now, Tony Oliva. Ball 2. Killebrew is the first man since Babe Ruth to lead the league 3 consecutive times in home runs. Three balls, no strikes. Ball 4. Killebrew gets a walk. Versailles will move over to second. So with runners at first and second and 1 down, here is the man coming to the plate now who is feared most, with all due respect to all the other performers on this club. When this man is hitting, he is a great, great hitter. Tony Oliva is batting .288 at the moment with 17 homers and 82 runs batted in after a very slow start this year in which he had several injuries of various types. Against Boston, he's 17 for 43 at .395. There's a base hit. Versailles will score on this one, and it is 1-0 Minnesota. Oliva banging a single to center field to score Versailles. Killebrew to second base, and the Twins jump into an early lead. Runners at first and second and 1 out. And right away, we're getting some stirring out in the Boston bullpen. Gary Bell has gone to work. Bob Allison is batting .257. 24 homers and 75 runs batted in. Base hit to left. Killebrew holding at third as Yastrzemski throws it into the plate. Bob Allison, with a clean single into left field, loads up the bases with 1 out here in the first, and the Twins ahead 1-0. And right here, Dick Williams is coming out. Versailles led off with a single to left. Tovar hit a high fly ball to Smith in center. Killebrew walked. Oliva hit the first pitch into center to score Versailles. Allison has singled, and the bases are full. And of course, this is the point of no return for Boston. If they do not win today, there's no tomorrow as far as their pennant aspirations are concerned. So it's going to be a day when Dick Williams will not take much time in making decisions regarding pitching.
Well, Ken, no doubt Jose Santiago is a little on the nervous side, and I'm sure that all other ball players out on the ball field are. Dick Williams, realizing this, wants to try and calm his pitcher down a little bit. Jose has been high with his pitches, and that certainly isn't the place that he wants to throw. He wants to get the ball down the lower part of the strike zone, but so far has been unable to do it. The pitch that Allison just hit was a hanging curveball. Oliva hit a high fastball. So now Dick Williams naturally wants to talk to his pitcher to get him to try and concentrate on the lower part of that strike zone where he can have better success.
Rod Carew is batting .296. Lines it to Adair. No chance at second because the ball was hit so quickly that Andrews was not able to get over to second base for the possibility of the double play on Oliva. So Carew is out on a line drive to third baseman Jerry Adair, and it brings to the plate the center fielder Ted Eulander, who is batting .256. He has 6 home runs, 49 runs batted in. Two out and 3 on. Strike one. Jerry Zimmerman is on deck. One ball, one strike. Two and one. Three and one. The Red Sox dugout. Pitching coach Sal Magley there in the foreground. 3-1 to Eulander. Andrews to Scott. The Twins in the first inning get a run on 3 base hits and leave 3 on.
Childhood cancer is the leading cause of death by disease for children in our country. We can do something about that. We can come together to support Children's Cancer Research Fund, a national nonprofit dedicated to ending childhood cancer, because
it's enough already.
Go to childrenscancer.org.
I'm Meredith Gorman from Golf Destination. Watch every episode of Golf Destination. Certified experts can help you with your swing, your travel choices, proper rules and etiquette, and the latest equipment. Plus, we still give you a deep dive of a variety of great golf destinations from around the globe. Visit golfdestination.tv for links to our social media and our YouTube channel. Golf Destination is brought to you by the official rum of leisure, Goslings.
Don't miss the next episode of 3:10 to Left, the podcast with an inside edge from people who cover the game and inside perspective from those who played it. 3:10 to Left on NESN Nation, presented by Ford, the official truck of the Boston Red Sox.
Everything that the Red Sox are today, as a functioning business enterprise and as a cultural institution as we know them today, stems from 1967.
At third is Tovar. The left fielder is Bob Allison. Ted Eulander in center. Tony Oliva in right. Zimmerman is the catcher, and leading off is Mike Andrews. Jim Cott shooting for a possibly unprecedented 8th victory in the month of September. All of them consecutive, which would tie Cott with Camilo Pascual and Dave Boswell for the most consecutive wins by a Twins starting pitcher. Andrews is batting .262. Ball one. Mike has 8 home runs, 40 runs batted in. On deck, Adair. Foul back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Mel Parnell has been knocked out of the box before, but knocked out of the chair then. Cott is making his 4th start against Boston this year. Base hit. Eulander with the ball. Andrews lining a single into left field to lead off for Boston. Cott is 1-0 against the Red Sox. He beat Jim Lonborg 2-1 on the 26th of June, with Al Worthington getting a save. The batter, Jerry Adair, is at .264 on the year. 3 homers, 36 runs batted in. Twins lead 1-0. This is the last of the first. Ball one. There was considerable kidding in both dugouts before the game, which is always a sign of tension. Here's one of the fellows who is kidding some, Carl Yastrzemski. Foul is out of play, and it's 1-1 on Adair. Another foul back. And it's 1-2 now on Jerry. Coaching at third base is Eddie Popowski. And at first is Bobby Dorr. Carew tags Andrews and then throws to first for the double play. Adair into a double play. And there are 2 men out in the last of the first. The Twins lead 1-0. And Carl Yastrzemski is up. 43 homers to tie Killebrew for the lead in that department. 115 runs batted in to lead the league there, and an average of .319 to lead the league there. Strike one. Line drive, base hit into the corner. Yaz takes the turn and holds at first base. Yastrzemski with a sharp single into right field, fielded by Oliva. With the heavy rain that we had in Boston last night, there is a little bit of a problem as far as the outfield is concerned. It is soggy in spots. Ken Harrelson is batting .260. He has 12 homers, has driven in 52 runs. 2 out, Yastrzemski on first, 1-0 Twins. Strike one. George Scott is on deck. Ball 1-1. Cott is 6'4", 225. He pitched 305 innings last year to lead the American League. One and two to Harrelson. Foul back. Still another. 1-2 the count. Got him with a curveball. Cott strikes out Harrelson, and that is it in the first inning for the Red Sox.
We knew that we had to win. Red Sox were playing great. Twins were playing great. You just couldn't let down. And I think that's why it was a great pennant race, because three teams battling, you couldn't let down. There was no room for any error.
Jerry Zimmerman faces Jose Santiago. Zimmerman at 170 with 1 homer and 12 runs batted in. Strike one. On deck is Jim Cott. 1-1. George Scott takes it. 1 out in the second. Jim Cott is a good hitter. His average this year is 173, and he has 1 home run and 4 runs batted in. But other pitchers know that he's liable to beat you at the plate anytime. He's had at least 1 home run every year except 1 while he's been with the Twins. Last year he had 2 homers and 13 runs batted in. Andrews gets an easy hop and gets him. 2 out in the second. There's one thing about today: if Santiago and Cott both work all the way, we're going to know reasonably soon, because both of them are fast workers. Although Cott was working just a little bit slower than usual, as was Santiago in the first inning, because both of them had early trouble. Versailles had a single to left field his first time. His average at 202. Ball 1. Now the California-Detroit game, where it's been raining all day, is underway. The first game of a doubleheader, and at the end of one, the Tigers lead 2-0. 1-1. Detroit 2, California nothing after 1. 2-1. Ball is out of play. 2-2 on Versailles. Twins ahead 1-0 in the second with 2 out and nobody on. Petrocelli to Scott. The Twins go in order in the second. No runs, no hits, and nobody left.
Away we go.
The Bees are back in action this fall.
Fired up tonight.
Don't miss your chance to get front and center as the Bruins hit the ice in their bold new uniforms. Tickets for the 2025-26 season, presented by Ticketmaster, are on sale.
Are you not entertained?
Lock in your seat at TD Garden today. Visit bostonbruins.com/tickets.
National Geographic Society celebrates all of its global explorers who are inspiring us to protect marine species, like penguins.
If you struggle to keep up with conversations, if you have trouble hearing the TV or radio, or in restaurants, Audien Hearing Aids wants you to hear better, because when you hear better, you're going to feel better.
The average cost of hearing aids is nearly $5,000. But what if you could buy a full pair of rechargeable, wireless, almost invisible, comfortable, high-quality hearing aids for only $99? Well, with Audien Hearing Aids, you can. So here's something you should know. Most of that price tag is for doctors and audiologists, for fittings and follow-up appointments, all unnecessary for people with mild to moderate hearing loss. Audien has similar technology to many of those $5,000 hearing aids.
Order your full pair of high-quality hearing aids for only $99 right over the phone today. Plus, when you order today, Audien will give you a free hearing accessory pack, money-back guarantee, and you can try them risk-free for 45 days. They make a great gift. To order,
1-800-853-0138.
Being a Boston sports fan just got even more rewarding. Introducing NESN 360 Rewards. Get exclusive offers and monthly savings on team merchandise, discounted tickets, your local BJ's, and more. Download the app or log in with your TV provider.
It was a team that was fun. It was fun to write about, and nobody got upset by whatever you wrote, because they were really all in it together, and they were the impossible dream.
Struck out batting right-handed against Cott. Now he's left-handed against Perry. Out of play, strike one. Smith right now is hitting .250 on the season. Reggie playing against a team that he originally signed with, the Twins organization. One ball, one strike. Perry has had a fine lifetime mark against Boston teams. 21 wins, 9 losses against the Red Sox over his career. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's beaten them once this year, lost to them twice, but generally has been very effective against Boston. Smith is 1 for 8 against him this season. Well hit
to left center. That's going to be in there. Extra bases picked up by Eulander. Double for Reggie. Gibson going back toward the dugout. And Dalton Jones is going to bat for him. Here he comes. Kid from the Bayou country who's been the best pinch hitter on this ball club for 2 or 3 years. As Dick Williams, knowing this is the game, realizing you got to win it, is not going to stay too long with too many people. Jones coming up right now.
Well, there's a good percentage move going with the left-hand batter at this time, because manager Dick Williams wants Dalton Jones to pull the ball toward right field. In the event he should hit a ground ball to the right side, Reggie Smith could then move over to third base and would be in position to score on a fly ball.
Dalton Jones on the year, hitting .279. 3 home runs, 25 runs batted in. And against Perry, Jones is 1 for 2 this season. That'll get the runner over, and it's a bad hop. Safe. It goes as a base hit for Jones. A bad hopper to Carew, as you saw. And Jones running hard down the line, beats it out for a hit, sending the runner to third, and Cal Irmer coming out from the dugout. Here is Irmer coming out to talk to Perry.
Well, I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see a sacrifice here, trying to get that runner in from third base and trying to move the runner at first base up in the scoring position at second. If Santiago could push one to the good side of the field, which in this case would be toward first base, it could be a very big play.
Ball 1. He was not squaring to bunt that time. He had the take on. There, the left-hander is Jim Merritt to his left, and the right-hander is Ron Klein, working from Minnesota. The bullpen activity as the Red Sox have their first real threat of the afternoon. They trail 1-0. 5th inning. Ball 2. So now the count is 2-0 to Santiago. Smith is at third and Jones at first. Strike 1. Boy, he had the big rip that time, and he was going for the base hit. The Twins infield playing at double play depth. They're not looking for the bunt so much. They have Tovar ready at third, but he's not charging. They're hoping for a ground ball that would give them a double play. They'd concede the run. Unless the ball was hit sharply to third. Strike 2. 2-2. Minnesota leading 1-0. Perry trying to pitch his way out of a jam in the 5th. Mike Andrews is on deck. Strike 3. He's out of there. Big strikeout for Perry. That's his third. And now it's Mike Andrews, who has singled to left center and walked. That was against Cott. The walk, he was 2-0 when Cott left with a bad arm, and Perry came in through ball 3 and ball 4. The walk charge to Cott. Mike is hitting .263, going 1 for 1 today. And he has a shot to tie up this ball game or send the Red Sox ahead. One away. Runners at first and third. Hold close. Strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boy, this has been a tingler. 1-0 Minnesota. How many moves in this game? How many pitches? How many balls and strikes and hits will be rehashed time and time again this winter in at least 2 cities? Out of play. And now it is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Each team has 5 hits in the game. The Twins have 1 run. It's the kind of game you want it to be, down on a do-or-die basis. It's the kind of game that you like to see in the playoff or in a World Series. Close. Tough. Strike 3 call, and again Perry threads the needle on that outside corner, and for the second time gets a Red Sox batter with a bat on his shoulder. 2 down now, and it's up to Adair. Jerry twice has grounded into the infield, once into a double play. Well, here's been Mr. Clutch for quite a few times this year. This is the 5th inning, but the Red Sox have their biggest chance. Runners at first and third. Adair hitting .262. That's going to be looping out there, in there for a base hit. Ties up the ball game. 1-1. And the Big A has done it again. A little handle hit into shallow center to drive in the tying run with 2 out in the 5th inning. Tovar, or Carew rather, started for that, and he fell. I don't know if you caught it, but he fell trying to get back to it. He was going to try to overrun it. He was kicking the dirt just now out there as if he thought he might have had that if he had not slipped on the skin part of the infield. But it goes as a base hit, an RBI, and here's Yastrzemski. Hitting .319. He's 1 for 2 today. Score tied, 1-1. Runners at first and third. That's Jones down there at third. Foul, strike 1. So that towhead from Oklahoma figures in another score for the Red Sox. Adair at first. Jones got over to third, running with 2 out. And it is 1 ball, 1 strike to Yastrzemski. Perry pitching to Yaz. Ball 2. 2-1. Well, a game that a lot of the writers play every once in a while. Who would you rather be? Jim Perry or Carl Yastrzemski right now?
Well, they both have their hands full at the moment.
Big cut. The count is 2-2 to Carl. As he has said in the past, the last couple of weeks, every time he's gone up, he's gone for the big one, the home run.
Well, Jim Perry has gotten away with the high pitch to Carl so far. However, if Carl catches hold of one, he'll never get it back. That's the one Carl likes, and that's the one he gets his long ball on, and he can easily hit it into the center field seats if he gets hold of one of those high pitches.
He's had 2 home runs against Perry this year. Time call. And out at first base, there's Bobby Doerr talking to the base runner Adair. Now, At the pitcher's mound, Jerry Zimmerman wants a word with Perry. Kind of concerned now.
Yes, I think he suspects something here as Jerry Adair walked over to talk to Bobby Dorr. Zimmerman may be looking for the double steal now, and he just wants to check with his pitcher and remind him that he will probably throw back to the pitcher if the runner should break.
And, of course, it could be a decoy by Dorr, faking the call on a double steal to shake him up a little bit. We'll see. Ball 3. 3-2. Very difficult to reason why you'd want a double steal, though, with Yastrzemski up. At third base is Dalton Jones. And at first base, Jerry Adair, held by Killebrew. It's full now to number 8. 3-2 to Yastrzemski. That's nice stop by Carew. No play. A run scores. It's 2-1. An infield hit for Carl Yastrzemski and a run batted in, his 116th. And there's the Twin bench. A little bit dejected after that one. With Carl's 116th RBI, he brings his average to 321. There was a fine play by Carew, but nobody was covering first.
Well, Ned, you mentioned earlier that many plays in this game will be rehashed for a long time. And there's one. That pitcher will be talking about this for a long time because he failed to cover first base.
There's Harrelson up, taking ball 1. It's 2-1 Red Sox in the 5th inning. Kenny Harrelson has struck out twice this afternoon. Well, Carew made the play. He looked to the base, and nobody was there. Killebrew, of course, was hauled off the bag, going after that ground ball, and Perry did not cover. Ball 2, 2-0. Cal Ermer, Twin manager, deep in thought right now. Red Sox have gone into the lead for the first time today. Strike. 2-1. Adair at second. Perry has given up 2 infield hits in this inning, along with a single to center by Adair, a looper. The only really solid shot was the double by Reggie Smith. Strike 2. 2-2 to Harrelson. Adair at second base, Yastrzemski at first, 2 out. Foul. And Nestor Shylock a little bit perturbed on that one. I think he had a lot of people perturbed on it. He was waving his hands, as you saw, and finally got it in foul ground.
And Nestor seemed to be a little excited on that play. He started jumping around before giving his sign.
Well, it goes as a foul ball, and it's 2-2. Looked like a college cheerleader about to give the 3 cheers and a locomotive. 2-2 to Harrelson, 2 out, 2 on. Red Sox 2, the Minnesota 1 in the 5th inning. Here it comes again. Here we go. Feel like you're hitting the beach up here. All you got to do, Melvin, is just dig a little bit. The count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. Very high and in foul. Tovar under it. That's it. And that's all for the Red Sox in the 5th, but they'll take the field to the cheers of this big crowd.
I miss my husband every day, but VA survivor benefits are helping us find financial stability and build a future he'd be proud of. I'm honoring his legacy by using the benefits he earned. Learn more at choose.va.gov.
It's about more than boating. It's about the boating lifestyle.
Hello and welcome to The Drift.
Drift in to new adventures and places to explore with Sierra Goodwill. John Methia introduces you to the who's who of boating.
How big is the mouth on that shark?
I guess like this, you know?
Mr. Yachts takes you aboard the super yachts.
This is nice.
It's delectable dishes from the galley.
So take a look at that presentation.
It's The Drift. Brought to you by Boat US, Sociable, and Subaru of New England.
No matter how many miles your car has, if it's under 20 years old, call now for a free price quote on our one-of-a-kind Endurance Advantage plan that covers over 20 regular maintenance services and driver needs. We'll also include an elite membership upgrade, a $2,000 value at no extra cost.
Endurance is the company I trust, and now that they offer plans that also cover regular maintenance, Endurance is the only company I recommend to call.
Call 800-594-7331. That's 800-594-7331. Call now.
It was so fun. It was so exciting just to think about playing the next game and being involved with it. And I can tell you by the time we got the last 2 days, we were kidding around in the clubhouse and people were talking with real high voices and like we were going to choke, and it was really exciting.
The top of the 6th at Fenway Park, Boston leading 2-1. Oliva's hitting .289. Ball 1. Tony would like Jim Honachik to look at the ball again. He's done that a couple of times today. It's all right, says Honachik. 28 is left-hander Sparky Lyle. 39 is right-hander Gary Bell. Lyle able to pitch again after having a pulled muscle in his arm, which kept him out 4 or 5 days. Two and nothing. Dick Williams was asked yesterday whether Ken Brett, the young left-hander who looked so good here against Cleveland the other day, would be used in this series, and Williams said he'd prefer to go with the experience from the left side, meaning, of course, Lyle, who's done a fine job for half a year. Foul, and Adair going for it. Oliva is out. The last 2 times up, they have jammed Oliva, and they got him on strikes in the 3rd, Santiago did, and he this time fouling out to Adair. Bob Allison up, singled and struck out, hitting .259. Ball 1. Red Sox went ahead with 2 in the 5th. Double by Smith, an infield hit by Jones, took a bad hop. Single by Adair, looped into center for 1 run. And Yastrzemski's infield hit taken nicely by Carew, but Perry wasn't covering first for the other. 2-0. That's the first pitch that Allison has gotten inside, and it was bad enough to be ball 3. He didn't want to make it too good on the inner half of the plate. There's a strike. 3-1. Detroit leading the Angels still 5-0 in the 5th inning in their first game. Allison's on with the second walk given up by Santiago this afternoon. The other one was to Killebrew in the first inning. So the Twins have the tying run on with 1 out. Rod Carew at the plate. He has lined to third and grounded to first. Hitting .295. And also a very prime contender for Rookie of the Year honors in the American League. Ball 1. Foul. She had a big puddle down that right field line that they weren't able to get all the water off. And on a couple of shots to right field early in the ball game, there's that puddle along the line, which is mostly in foul ground, but some in fair. And the grass in right is very heavy. A couple of those hits splashed in there in the early innings. Good pitch. 1-2. The California Angels did not score in the top of the 6th inning. They still trail Detroit 5-0. Count 2-2 to Rod Carew. Robert Service. Red Sox dugout. There's Vice President Humphrey to this side. He's having a time. He's rooting for the Twins, of course. There's Ted Kennedy next to him, Senator Edward Kennedy. Got him. Strike 3 to Rod Carew. 2 away. Carew wasn't exactly entranced by that call by plate umpire Honachik. Looked at him, said a few things. Six strikeouts now for Santiago, facing Eulander with a runner at first. Ball 1. Ted Eulander has grounded out and tripled, hitting .257 now. Base hit past Petrocelli. Eulander has his second hit. So runners are now at first and second. Zimmerman is due up. But I believe Rich Reese, left-handed hitting first baseman, is going to bat for him. Reese is a .232 hitter. There he is now. Very flashy fielding first baseman. He has 4 homers and 19 runs batted in this year. And a couple of his home runs have won ball games for the Twins in the 9th inning. Reese will bat for Zimmerman as Cal Irmer goes to the bench for the first time. Here is Dick Williams coming out to talk to Santiago. so time is out all over the place. Bob Allison even has taken time to leave the field and go to the dugout. Williams talking with Howard and Santiago. John Wyatt had been out replacing Sparky Lyle for a while, but Lyle is back. We'll pause here for station identification right now. This is Red Sox baseball. Back at Fenway Park, Rich Reese is batting for Zimmerman with runners at first and second for the Twins in the sixth inning. Red Sox leading 2-1. Dave Boswell and Ron Klein are in the bullpen for Minnesota. Ball one. No advance.
Well, Sparky Lyle had been warming up in the bullpen, but apparently his elbow is bothering him. He's gone to the bench, and now left-hander Kimmel Brett is up throwing along with Gary Bell.
And there are the bullpen relief crew. Boswell and Klein you just saw. Well, maybe Brett will get a shot. There he is, the young left-hander, number 36, Ken Brett, who was really flogging them in the other afternoon against Cleveland in his major league debut. And he was a very happy young fellow. The other day we saw him in that loose workout they held here, and he very happy about it and very excited. On deck, Jim Perry. Here's the batter, Reese, facing Santiago. And that makes it 1 ball, 1 strike. Boston 2, Minnesota 1, 6th inning. World Series atmosphere. Both teams hoping to get a little more of it. Strike 2. Got him on a breaking pitch that time. It count is 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Allison there at second base represents the tying run. And that makes it 2-2. Reese, the pinch hitter. Allison at second. Eulander over at first base. Ball 3. Full count now. 3-2. The runners will be moving with 2 out. Santiago in another, well, he's in, has been in jams before. He got 2 out with a runner at third in the 4th inning. Eulander was over there with 1 away, and then he got the next 2 men. Pitched out of trouble in the 3rd and gave up only 1 run, although the Twins loaded the bases in the 1st. Here they go. And it's in the hole to left. This will tie the ball game up. And the throw goes into second as the pinch hitter, Rich Reese, slams one, almost hitting the runner Allison, moving to third. It was very close to Bob Allison. A big clutch hit by Rich Reese, singling home the tying run. It's brand new again, 2-2. Frank Castro, or Andy Costco rather, will bat. Or is it Castro? They've got both. It is Frank Castro, who plays infield and outfield, used to be with the Tiger organization. And he is going to bat now for pitcher Jim Perry. Another man off the bench for the Twins, Castro. He's hitting .333, no homers, 2 runs batted in. He was recalled from the minors. This is just the 31st game he's played in for Minnesota this year. Castro getting information and instruction from Cal Irmer. Castro batting for Perry with runners at first and second, 2 outs, score tied 2-2. Well, sir? Didn't expect a tea party, did you?
Nope, not at all.
All right, we're going at it. And Castro's in there against Santiago. Ball 1. Each team has 2 runs and 7 hits. Neither team has made an error. And it's 2-0. Two balls, no strikes to the second pinch hitter, Castro. Fastball high, ball 3. Didn't miss by too much, and Santiago thought he had the strike. 3-0 now. Strike. 3-1. And that loads them up. Castro walks. Reese goes to second. Eulander to third. 2 outs, bases loaded. And the top of the order, Zoilo Versalles at the plate. He has singled, grounded out, and struck out. Batting .201 right now. That was the third walk given up by Santiago. He's walked 2 this inning. Strike. And once again, the runner at third base, Eulander, was down the line bluffing toward the plate on the windup by Santiago. Pops up the curve. Adair has it.
Away we go.
The Bees are back in action this fall.
Fired up tonight.
Don't miss your chance to get from center as the Bruins hit the ice in their bold new uniforms. Tickets for the 2025-26 season presented by Ticketmaster are on sale.
Are you not entertained?
Lock in your seat at TD Garden today. Visit bostonbruins.com/tickets.
I was born with a congenital heart defect and almost died. But thanks to research funded by the American Heart Association, I had heart surgery that saved my life. Learn more at helpheart.org.
Hi everyone, I'm Harry Chickma, reminding you to join me for another season of World Tennis only on NESN. For in-depth analysis and exclusive interviews with the legends of tennis, be sure to join me for another season of World Tennis only on NESN.
Bruins hockey is back. Preseason
postseason action continues with Bruins Capitals Thursday at 7 on NESN and NESN 360. Presented by TD Bank, America's most convenient bank.
Yaz was like God that year. I mean, everything that he hit, I would soon have pitched around him most of the times when we faced him, because every time he made contact, you know something big was going to happen.
The first man he'll face will be George Scott, who lost about 7 pounds and became a more effective hitter. 2-2 ball game, bottom of the 6th inning. Scott is 1 for 2, a single. Long drive, deep to center, it's gone. Brother, that's the way Scott hit him last year. A line drive into the crowd in the triangle in center field, and the Red Sox lead 3-2. Ball 1 to Petrocelli.
Well, he jumped on Ron Klein before Klein had a chance to get set, and he hit that pitch deep into that triangle. Well hit by George Scott. There wasn't any doubt about it.
Sir. Rico fouls one back. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. For Scott, his 19th home run and his 81st run batted in. There's left-hander Jim Merritt, right-hander Al Worthington. Worthington number 15. In the Twins bullpen is 3-2 Boston. Boy, that exploded this crowd. That homer by Scotty. Petrocelli's 0 for 2. The count on him is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rico right now is hitting .259. The veteran Ron Klein, greeted harshly by Scott, has won 7 and has lost none this year. 7-0 record. 3.60 earned run average. Fly ball to shallow right. Who's got it? Oliva wants it. Tony takes it. 1 out. Reggie Smith is up. He has struck out and doubled, scored a run. Smitty hitting .252. This is Klein's 5th appearance against Boston this year. No record against them. That side saddle motion. Ball 1. And a lot of the players in the American League, of course, accuse him of loading up, of throwing the wet one every now and then. But he has a lot of actions which could give you thoughts along those lines. Goes to the mouth, then rubs it off, and does a lot of other things. 2-0. On deck, Jose Tartabull, who was placed in the number 8 spot when he came on to play right field. Well hit by Reggie, deep to center. Eulander back, though. And Ted puts it away for out number 2. Boy, that was stung. Eulander on Scott's home run just gave up. He didn't even go back on it. He knew, but that time he knew he had a shot at it.
Well, Reggie hit that ball very well, but he had to reach a little bit for it. And if he would have been able to lay back and hit that ball solid like that, it could have been gone also up into the center field seat. But when he had to reach for it, that took away a little of his power, although he got it on a good part of the bat.
Here's Jose Tartabull with 2 out, hitting .226, taking a strike. No home runs, 10 RBIs. Ron Klein, the 3rd Twin pitcher. Jim Perry went 2 2/3 innings. Gave up 4 hits and 2 runs. Hey, the big changeup got him that time. 0-2 to Tartabull. And strike three. Tartable called out on strikes on the knuckleball, which really had the bull fooled that time. So Klein gets them after giving up the home run to Scotty, but that was it in the 6th inning. 1 run, 1 hit. And the score at the end of 6 is Boston 3, Minnesota 2.
Now you can say, well, something else might have happened. Well, it might have happened, but it wouldn't have been like that. There was only one summer like that. There was only one galvanizing set of circumstances like that, and they happened in '67. And they transformed the Red Sox from something that you paid little attention to something that you were now forced to pay attention to if you were a sports fan.
Here we go into the 7th, and Cesar Tovar is up. Strike one. Tovar 0 for 3. We'd like to welcome Narragansett Lager Beer, the good beer for the good hours, now to our telecast from Fenway Park. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tovar batting .267. He's flied to center, popped to Scott, and grounded out to Adair at third. Reggie Smith going back. He's got it. Red Appleton been called out on strikes. His average at .265. Boston 3, Minnesota 2 in the 7th. Strike 2. One ball and 2 strikes. Foul back out of play. George Scott has asked for timeout and has gone over into the Red Sox dugout, and he's going to get some sunglasses from the Red Sox bat boy down there, Keith Rosenfeld. Thus the reason for the momentary delay. There he is, and he's got him. 1 and 2 on Twiggy, or Killebrew. I'm still thinking about Scott after that home run, Mel. Still 1 and 2. Another foul. In the Red Sox bullpen, John Wyatt has started to warm up. Two and 2. Santiago pouring the hard stuff to Killebrew for out number 2 in the 7th. Red Sox 3 and the Twins 2, and here comes Oliva. Oliva has singled to center, driving in the first Minnesota run, struck out in the 3rd, and fouled out to Adair in the 6th inning. His average at 288. Andrews over to Scott for the out.
This river wasn't dammed in a day, and GMC trucks weren't built overnight. Like every American achievement, they are a result of dedication. Over 100 years dedicated to the art of engineering and the ambition to always move this country forward. Current eligible GMC owners get 0% APR with a total value of over $12,000 on this Sierra 1500 model. That's 20% below MSRP.
To leave my baby in the hospital NICU.
If we come together, we can help every mom and baby be healthy and strong.
Joy March for Babies, a mother of a movement.
If you're paying high interest rates on your credit cards, you're burning money. Consolidated Credit can work with your creditors to reduce your total payments by up to 50% and lower your high interest rates so you can stop juggling multiple payments. Save thousands in interest charges and pay off your credit card debt fast. You don't have to be good with money because we are. Call 800-565-3521 for a free consultation. 800-565-3521. That's 800-565-3521.
I was pretty much in awe of Carl Yastrzemski that year. You know, he was still a young kid at the time. I was 19 years old. In fact, 18 when I was brought up. 19, Carl, I think, was in his, in the prime of his career, about 27, 28 years old, if memory serves me correct. Won the Triple Crown. How many guys have done it since? 0.
At the plate, he's 0 for 2. Struck out in the third, was called out on strikes in the fifth. Ron Klein is the third Twins pitcher, preceded by Jim Cott and Jim Perry. Versailles over to Killebrew. Santiago is out. 1 away in the 7th. Mike Andrews will be next. That was an odd play, Mel, on that last ground ball by Oliva. A grounder almost caused some trouble with the sunshine.
That's right. The ball bounced high, and you can see Andrews. He lost the ball and was trying to shade his eyes quickly and then position himself for the ground ball. And luckily, the ball did come out of the sun in time for him to make the play.
The count, ball 1 to Andrews. Klein is one of 4 active pitchers who's been used at least 200 times, both in starting and relieving. Ball 2. He's had 203 starting assignments and 380-odd games in relief. Check swing roller. Klein throws safe. Mike Andrews checking the swing, has himself an infield hit, his second of the day. With 1 out in the 7th, there is 1 on, and the batter is Jerry Adair. Hit into a double play in the 1st, grounded out to shortstop in the 3rd, singled in the 5th inning, and drove home a run. The first Red Sox run. There's a foul ball out of play. The reason you're hearing that intermittent roar from the crowd is down behind the screen. Somebody's got a balloon that's bouncing up and down.
Yes,
I suppose you got to do anything to relieve the tension at this ballpark today.
Well, they're having a lot of fun with it, Ken. They're knocking it around the box seat area under the screen.
The count is 1 strike. Andrews on first and 1 out in the 7th. Foul ball on the bunt try down to Bobby Doerr. 2 strikes to Jerry Adair. Another foul back. Merritt and Worthington continue to warm up in the bullpen. 1-2 the count.
Well, a big boo was raised there for some fan in the box seat, Ken. He put an end to the balloon. He got up with his cigarette and put it to the balloon, and of course that ended everything.
1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Klein, safe.
After Jerry Adair reached on the air by Versailles, Jim Merritt came into the game to face the great Carl Yastrzemski. Here's Yaz on the at-bat in the 7th.
I looked inside, like I said, off Merritt, and I looked for a high fastball, and it was there. Bang, it was a home run.
Deep to right field. Number 44. Yastrzemski has hit more home runs than any left-handed batter in the history of Boston baseball. And this one came in a clutch situation to give Boston a 6-2 edge here in the 7th.
And Ken, he got his pitch on that one. He got the pitch up around the letters, and that's the one Carl wanted to hit out of this ballpark.
They're still hollering for Yaz. Howard lines one to left. Allison is back, though, and he's got it. Bob Allison catches the fly ball by Elston Howard for the 2nd out in the 7th. Wait till you hear the roar when Yastrzemski comes out of that dugout to go back to his position. Here is Scott, who brought the crowd to its feet in the 6th inning with a home run into the center field seats, which put Boston ahead 3-2. Strike 1. Scott's batting average is now a very solid 302. But Yastrzemski today now has driven home 4 runs, has 3 base hits. Versailles gets Scott at first base to retire the side. For Boston, 3 runs. Listen to the roar for Yastrzemski. There were 2 hits in the inning, 1 error. Nobody is left on, and now at the end of 7, it is Boston 6 and Minnesota 2.
We never can expect what's going to happen on this half-an-hour program. We are on the water, Billy's favorite place to be.
We're hopping around the harbor. Okay, Jenny, get your bearings.
So much fun.
This duck looked much better 5 minutes ago.
This is the best season to be a New Englander.
New England's premier food and lifestyle program, Dining Playbook, Saturday mornings at 9, Encores Sunday night at 9 on NESN, driven by your New England Chevy dealers.
Can you help me?
What you got there?
Will you help my mom?
Hey, crew, I'll give the first move to anyone who signs up to be an organ donor. How do you do it?
Easy. Just go to organdonor.gov.
More donors means more hope. Sign up at organdonor.gov.
At NESN, we believe play builds more than just memory.
You get to play, and it's okay if you lose or win.
So, this fall, we're building a brand new playground in the heart of Worcester.
Woo! It's just fun to play.
But we can't do it without you. Help us turn this empty park into a place where every kid can play, dream, and grow.
Oh, this is going to be a fantastic addition to our field.
Your donation today can make this playground project a home run.
Williams did it just right. He was the perfect guy for the job, and he just goaded them and insulted them and got them to play. And of course, Yastrzemski was the beacon.
The crowd still roaring here at Fenway Park as we get ready to go into the 8th. Boston leading by a score of 6-2. Bob Allison facing Jose Santiago. Ball 1. Allison has singled to left, struck out, and in the 6th inning walked and scored a run. One ball, one strike. Two and one now to Allison. Rod Carew will be next, and Eulander is due up third. Ball 3. Allison's average .259 at the moment. Ball 4. Bob Allison gets a leadoff walk in the 8th inning. And Dick Williams is coming out. That is the 3rd walk allowed by Jose Santiago. John Wyatt and Gary Bell are warming up out in the Boston bullpen. Howard, Santiago, and Williams. And he is going to make the change. It looks like it'll be Bell. Jose Santiago has pitched a whale of a ball game for the Red Sox here today. Listen to this roar. So Gary Bell will be coming in to do the pitching now for Boston. A fellow who has had a lot of experience in relief work. He was in the bullpen for 4 years with Cleveland until last year they turned him into a starter again. He's been a busy man this week. And the 30-year-old right-hander is coming on here in the 8th inning. The Red Sox lead 6-2 with Bob Allison on first base. Mel?
And Gary's coming on for his 38th appearance of the year. It'll be his 9th in relief. But as Ken mentioned, he has a lot of relief experience. While with the Cleveland Indians, he was mainly a reliever until last season.
The batter is Carew, who has lined to third, grounded out to first baseman Scott, and grounded out, been called out on strikes. Runner at first and nobody out. Carew batting .295. He's been right up there in the top 10 almost all year. Quite a story. He was with Wilson in the Carolina League a year ago. Turned out to be the all-star second baseman this year. Strike one. The right-hander is Wyatt, and the southpaw is Brett. High fly ball to right field. Tartable into a tough sun. He's got it. Rod Carew flies to right as one out and one on in the 8th. Boston has a 6-2 edge. The Red Sox did not score over the first 4 innings of this game. The Twins scored in the first. Boston got 2 in the 5th. 1 in the 6th and 3 in the 7th. And of course, Carl Yastrzemski with his 44th homer. Hold on here now. Dick Williams wants to talk to Andrews, and I have an idea what it's about, Mel.
Yes, Tautabol seemed to have trouble picking up that ball when it was first hit. He lost in the sun. I'm sure that Dick Williams went out to tell second baseman Mike Andrews to go back on the ball hit to right field and try to help him as much as possible, because this is a tough sun field at this moment, Ken. The sun is down low.
It is. Pitch is a ball. Here's Eulander, who has grounded out to second, tripled, and singled. Ball 2. Mentioning Yastrzemski's 44th home run, that puts him one ahead of Killebrew in his quest for the Triple Crown. His average is now 322. Andrews makes the play at second. Eulander grounding out to the second baseman, and Mike made a fine play. I'll tell you, that sunshine is really difficult, even on those grounders out there at second, as strange as it may seem, but you can tell it from right up here.
Yes, and noticing Mike Andrews looking into the catcher's signs, Ken, he is shading his eyes with his glove in his arm, trying to get a look at what the pitch may be so that he'll know whether to move to the hole to his right or to his left.
Here's Russ Nixon, the catcher now, batting .238. Foul ball is out of play. 2 men out in the 8th inning. Boston ahead 6-2. Ted Eulander is on first base, and Russ Nixon is facing an old roommate, Gary Bell. They were roomies together when both of them were with the Cleveland Ball Club. Al Worthington is warming up in the Twins bullpen. One and one. Two balls, one strike, the count to Nixon. Line drive toward Yaz. He's got it. And they're down to the 8th. No runs, no hits, and one man is left on.
RSV is the most common cause of hospitalization in infants under the age of 1. This RSV season, RSVP yes to talking with your pediatrician about RSV, and go to healthychildren.org for additional need-to-know info. RSVP yes today.
Turn our fans into fans of your business. Teaming up with NESN is the perfect play. With customized digital, social, and TV advertising, you'll reach the right audience and be part of the action. Alongside the millions of fans who watch NESN.
NESN's my sports feed on my phone.
Your brand, plus premium content, and a massive audience. It's the winning team, found only on NESN. Email us at advertising@nesn.com.
If you love the game of golf, let us take you inside the ropes each week right here on the Fairways of Life show. We'll bring you exclusive interviews with absolute legends, plus all of the news from the tour where you'll hear from their biggest personalities and their biggest stars. We will give you access unlike you can get anywhere else. Hey, I'm Matt Adams, host of the Fairways of Life show. Whether we're talking about news, instruction, travel, or equipment, we're going to share a passion for the game right here on NESN.
Look a little bit differently, and that's for good reason.
Saturday mornings, a brand new show about the city you thought you knew. Meet Boston with Billy and Jenny. Saturday mornings at 9:30, only on NESN.
We knew what we had to do, and we did it. You know, that was pretty much just that simple. The same pressure was on the Twins as it was on us, and it was the same pressure was on Detroit as it was on us, and the same pressure was on Chicago, for that matter, as it was on us.
But the Twins tied it up in the sixth, and in the last of the sixth, Scott hit a home run. Pitched to Petrocelli as ball one. Leading off in the sixth to put Boston ahead 3-2. And Yastrzemski slammed a 3-run homer in the seventh, and it is 6-2 now in the eighth. Rico is 0 for 3. Ball two. Petrocelli's average at .259. Two and one. Left-hander Jim Merritt on the mound for Minnesota. He is the fourth pitcher of the day. Jim Cott hurt his elbow early after going 2 1/3 innings. Foul ball out of play. Jim Perry worked 2 2/3, and Klein worked 1 1/3. Three and 2 on Petrocelli. Reggie Smith on deck. Foul back here. Rico gets a walk. The leadoff man in the eighth inning, Petrocelli, draws a walk, and the batter will be Reggie Smith. Reggie has struck out, doubled to center field, into the gap actually in left center, and last time lined very hard to center field. Batting .251. Petrocelli is back safely. It's quite a move that Merritt has to first base. Joylo Versailles over to second, safe at first. Smith reaches. Petrocelli forced at second. Versailles over to Carew. And the batter will be Jose Tartabull. Tartabull batting .225. Smith back safely. To right field, Oliva back. He has room, and he makes the catch. Smith tags up and goes for second, and he is safe. Heads up running by Reggie Smith on Tartabull's long drive. He moves over to second. Oh, little Jose's been whacking that ball with authority in the last few weeks, Mel.
Yes, he has, Ken. In the last 3 weeks, he's been hitting the ball hard. However, he can't get that home run that he's been driving for. He keeps coming close, but he's just a little short all the time.
Wouldn't tomorrow be a great time?
Oh, a wonderful time. And maybe with a 2-2 score to hit one and break it up. That's what he would like to do. I know he mentioned that on the last trip. Going into Baltimore, he said that's when he'd like to hit his first home run.
Gary Bell fouls one back, strike one. In the Twins' ninth inning, the pitcher would be due first, and then to the top of the order for Versailles and Tovar. Two strikes on Bell. Second baseman Rod Carew makes the play.
In the bottom half of the eighth inning, the Red Sox had no runs, they had no hits, no errors, and one man left. After 8 full innings, it's the Red Sox 6, the Twins 2.
Todd's in the hospital.
From vaping. Promise you won't vape, Emma.
Not cool.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff, tense, or less active than before? Introducing the EasyWell Remedy Massage System that combines the incredible effects of vibrational therapy, targeted deep tissue shiatsu massage, plus soothing infrared heat. A triple fusion of therapeutic experiences. Full body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation and reduces inflammation. Look at these beads moving from the powerful vibrational motors.
It's like 1,000 little fingers just vibrating my body from head to toe.
Infrared heat penetrates deep to reduce pain, soothe, and relax.
Remedy gets in there and helps deal with the source of the pain, so you feel much better.
The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 infrared heated nodes mimics a professional massage. Plus, it's detachable for deep relief anywhere you need it.
It's just something that you're gonna have to feel for yourself.
Experience the true remedy for your pain and stiffness. Call now.
October 9th, Bruins are back in Boston. And here we go. Kick off the home opener on the home of the Boston Bruins. Only on NESN and NESN 360. This Original 6 matchup is presented by GMC.
It's easy to stay safe online. Learn more at CISA.gov/secure-our-world.
It was just one of those, it'll never happen again because the expectations will always be high for the Red Sox.
Rich Rollins is going to lead off. He'll be batting for Merritt. His average is .246. He has 6 homers and has driven in 39 runs. Rollins leading off in the 9th inning. Right now, the brief pause is so that the lights can be turned on here at Fenway Park. Detroit won the first game with California 5-0. They are playing a doubleheader today at Tiger Stadium, and they will play another doubleheader tomorrow. Rollins facing Bell. Foul ball to Adair. Wyatt and Brett are warming up again for Boston. The count is 1 strike. This is the 9th inning. The Red Sox are leading 6-2. Rollins fouls it out of play. 2 strikes. One and 2 the count. Two and 2. It's a full count to Rollins. 3 and 2 to Rich Rollins, leading off in the 9th inning for the Minnesota Twins. Boston with 6 runs, 10 hits, and no errors. Minnesota 2, 7, and 1. Jerry Adair. 1 out in the 9th. Next, Zoilo Versailles. Versailles has singled. That came in the 1st inning when he scored the first Twins run. He has grounded out to short, struck out, and popped to 3rd. The 2nd Twins run came in the 6th inning on a pair of base hits. Foul ball, strike 1. Versailles was driven home by Oliva. Rich Reese had the pinch single to left that drove home Allison with the 2nd run. And for Boston, Carl Yastrzemski has driven in 4 runs with a homer, and Scott has a solo blast. Foul to the screen. Strike 2.
Bill.
1 ball, 2 strikes now. Tomorrow afternoon in the final game, it will be Lonborg and Chance. Chance has won 20 and lost 13. Two and 2. And Lonborg has won 21 and lost 9. Smith is calling. 2 out in the 9th. The batter, Tovar. He has flied to center. Popped to Scott. Grounded to Adair at third and fly deep to Smith in center field. As Reggie made a fine running catch on him in the 7th. I'm sure you're aware of all the contingencies of the pennant race at this time. Fly ball to left field. Yastrzemski running hard. Can't get there in time. Tovar is digging for a double. And he is in at second base. With 2 out in the 9th inning. Boston ahead 6-2. Tovar bloops a double down into the left field corner. The batter is Killebrew. He has walked, doubled, been called out on strikes, struck out swinging. Batting .265. Ball 1. Wyatt and Brett are in the Red Sox bullpen, but they're doing more watching than throwing right now. Ball 2. Dick Williams is coming out of the Red Sox dugout. There's the Twins dugout. Killebrew is walking back over toward Oliva by the on-deck circle. Two balls and no strikes the count. Foul back out of play. 2-1. Two balls, one strike. Two and two. They give Killebrew the whole right field corner as Smith is well over into left center and Tarnable is way over in right center field. Fly ball, it may be foul. Yastrzemski down in the corner. It's out of reach. Up in the crowd. 2-2. And there's one of the many Red Sox signs that we've seen around, not only this ballpark, but others over the past couple of months. Another foul ball by Harmon Killebrew. Still 2-2. to left field, and this one is going to be gone. Harmon Killebrew has hit a home run, and that ties him with Yastrzemski at 44 and makes the score 6-4 in favor of the Red Sox. Tovar's bloop single gave Killebrew a chance to come to the plate, and he banged out his 44th home run of the year to even him with Carl Yastrzemski. There are 2 men out. The Red Sox lead by a score of 6-4, and the batter is Oliva. He had a single on the first pitch, his first time up, to drive home the first Minnesota run. Since then, he has struck out swinging, fouled to third, and grounded out to second. Line drive to Adair, and that's all. Adair robs him of a base hit with a great catch of a line drive down there at third base. And the Red Sox have beaten the Minnesota Twins by a score of 6-4. And there you see the ball players heading into the Red Sox dugout as a crowd of 32,909 saw the Red Sox come from behind to come up with a very big victory here today. A victory that they had to have in order to stay alive in this pennant race.
With a win under their belts, the Red Sox would win the final game of the series and the season against the Twins. Coupled with the loss of the Detroit Tigers, the Red Sox went to the World Series, completing the impossible dream season. Baseball in Boston has never been the same since. I'm Don Orsillo. Thanks for watching.